random Disney things in the middle of the night that you probably don't care about, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Hello and welcome back to the Dapper Danielle YouTube channel. And today we are going to be going on an adventure. Well, a little step back in time to see if we can recreate a drink that was originally sold here in 1975. If you haven't been to the Contemporary Resort in a long time, or maybe you never come here before, a little brief history about this resort. It is one of our opening day resorts here in Disney World. It originally opened on October 1st, 1971. Obviously, a lot of things have changed about this resort over the years. Like, this structure was not here back in 1971. One of the original OG things was actually one of these far pools over here that we'll pass by. Danielle, wait, I thought you said something about a drink. Yes, I'll get to that in a second. However, I'm trying to build a little bit of the history of this resort for you. For example, behind the resort, this little area right here, this was called the Marina Pavilion when this location opened up in the 70s. It was broken up into 4 little basic shopping areas that sold like outside amenities like sunscreen, pool towels, floaties, and they also had the 2 original quick service locations, which were, well, one of them was the Sandbar, and we still have a location here called the Sandbar. The large main pool and play area, this is all newer and newer construction. The original was only Olympic-sized swimming pool. However, directly across where this little tiny area is, this is a circular pool that is original to the resort opening in 71. Nowadays, this is a quiet pool. However, back in the 70s, this was nicknamed the teen pool because it was where all the teens would come and hang out poolside because it was the only location that would play rock music on the pool deck. So it was the most grooviest place to be. Now it's the quiet pool and people are staring at me because I'm talking too loud. So we're gonna move away. We're gonna move away. Now, some really big adjustments that changed in more recent years was Bay Lake Tower right here, which was built and opened in 2009. Then on the opposite side of the resort, so away from the Bay Lake Tower, away from the main concourse, over here, these smaller 2-story structures, actually it's 3 stories, these are the garden wing rooms. Originally opened in 1973, and then additions were added on in 2006 to add more DVC accessible rooms while Bay Lake was still being finished. Okay, now moving on to the true reason why we're here is that me and the Dapper Mom are on the hunt for an item that I happened to find on the internet. So while doing my online searching, I found pieces of one of the original menus from a bar that used to be located in the main concourse, and we're gonna go see if we can have a bartender make one of these drinks for us. We'll see. I do really love the smell of the Contemporary Resort. Now, most of the lobby area got redone here in the past few years, and it actually pays a bigger homage to the original construction of this resort. For example, here over near Steakhouse 71 and the restrooms, this is a picture of the resort being built. You can see the steel structure right here, and the rooms were being made off property, actually over where Port Orleans Riverside is today. The rooms were made and built, and then they were slid in to each of these spots right here. Oh, and you can see there's the pool we were just talking about right there. Now, Contemporary in the 70s was designed to be the it location for a fancier and upscale convention hotel. So the designs were catering towards large-scale convention spaces. The second floor over here still consists of all of these convention spaces over here. There is a convention actually going on. Now the 4th floor, where we're headed to, was the original main area where all the shopping was, all the restaurants, in the very heart and center of this resort. But yes, we are actually skipping the 3rd floor. There is a 3rd floor in between all of this right here, and we are jumping from the 2nd to the 4th floor. So this is the current layout of the concourse, and I am going to show you some photos of what it looked like in contrast to this originally when this location opened up in the 70s. Back when I argue, it was beautiful. It matched perfectly with the aesthetic of the Mary Blair art mosaic work behind me. It was gorgeous.
One of the most unusual features of this ultra-modern resort is the manner in which monorail passengers arrive. Entering high in the air, they are taken right into a spectacular open mall lobby called the Grand Canyon Concourse. The concourse, which is actually the hotel's 4th floor, gets its name from the colorful 10-story mural which covers all 4 sides of the central elevator shaft. Truly a modern work of art, this mural is made up of over 18,000 individually hand-painted and fire-glazed ceramic tiles. From the lobby inside to the activities and surroundings outside, everything is keyed to the contemporary theme, and there is a feeling of now, of today.
Now the Concourse has seen many, and I mean many changes in the first couple years of this resort being open. So some of this history I'm about to give you spans anywhere between about 1972 to about 87. One of the big things is that there was a restaurant location, which was like a seafood and steak grill location that was called the Outer Rim. The art style of the Outer Rim matched a lot with the southwestern representation that was seen throughout the Concourse. And along the outside walls had little interesting cutouts containing 3D dioramas of some of Mary Blair's artwork. Now, I mentioned the Outer Rim artwork because here in January 2024, Joey Cho's art has been added into Bayview Gifts with the wall designs and also 2 new murals throughout the gift shop. This is all very much his art style, but it all pays tribute and matches the aesthetic of Mary Blair's artwork that is also in the hotel. But these wall cutouts right here with the vases and even the little roosters and the little 5-legged goat, he's right there also. These little cutouts and the little lights underneath it with the little displays, even the color palette, all matches the color palette of those cutouts that were over at the outside of the Outer Rim restaurant. Okay, and can we just appreciate the mid-century modern, structures that we have set up for our displays now, and even the little pieces of artwork inside to display the merchandise. I really love that. More of the artwork with the rest of the Concourse right there behind the other register. I just really love that even the tiniest details in the displays right now are still tying in Mary Blair's artwork. I love that. Throughout the years, the main Concourse really featured a bunch of miniature boutique shops as well as restaurants. We know these boutique shops aren't considered a big thing now, but in the 70s when these boutiques were opening, the modern American mall was not as widespread as it would become 10 years later in the 80s, so to have everything in one place during your vacation was very impressive. Now, we need to refocus of why we actually came and started this video, but me and Mom got distracted because we used to work here in the arcades back when this was a Redemption arcade here in the Contemporary Resort. So we were just coming and checking it out.
There was the arcade used to be downstairs.
I know, yes. The arcade originally used to be downstairs where Steakhouse 71 is today. However, when did this moved up here in the 90s?
I don't know, but it's been here a long time.
It's been here a long time, to where Mom worked here about 10 years ago. I picked up a couple shifts here 10 years ago. The Redemption wall used to be right here where Pac-Man is today, and it still smells the exact same.
It's crazy.
Well, honestly, it smells a little better than when we worked here. It is newer carpet, but you don't know what's over here. Anyway, refocus. We are here to talk about the bar that was originally called the Monorail Club Car, which was located right here on the corner of where Bayview Gifts is today. We have little to no photos or videos of what the inside of this bar looked like back in the 70s. We just know that the entrance was originally about 20 feet away from the escalator right here in this area. So it was a narrow hallway type bar lounge area that went right here, and then the rest of the gift shops and boutiques were off to the side. And supposedly it lasts from 1971 till about 1987, barely holding on by a thread. And that's when a lot of major refurbs started again in the 90s. But thanks to the help of the internet, we have been able to find about 2 menus that originally had drinks that were sold here at this bar. One was from 1973. We're going to be going based off of the drink list from January of 1975 that had different drinks inspired by the different monorails. It was Walt Disney World Monorail Fleet of drinks, and they had drinks inspired by Monorail Red, Pink, Yellow, and Purple. As I'm looking off to my mother off camera to see if I was getting my names correct.
That's
and yes,
right,
I did.
that's right.
Did you just say, Mom?
That owl up there is winking.
He is.
That is hysterical. I don't think I've ever noticed that.
I'll
You're
show
always
you
so
guys.
Focused on the 5-legged goat. You know?
He's on the other side, but Mom's talking about on this side of the concourse. If you look up here to the owls, and I'll zoom in, one's winking at you right there. He's so funny. Mom, we're getting distracted by owls.
Sorry.
We're
They're
trying to
so
find this
cute.
drink. I know, they're adorable. Now the idea is that we have this list of menus and we kind of know what's inside each of these drinks. We want to take this list of drinks to one of the bartenders currently either at Steakhouse 71 Lounge or over here at Outer Rim and ask them to see if they'd be willing to try to recreate one of these drinks for us. I think we're going to go based off of which one's busiest, and Outer Rim actually has a little bit of a line going to it, so we're going to go try Steakhouse 71 downstairs because they have a really nice lounge area also. We could sit at the lounge too. Okay. Abort mission. Abort. We're going back up to Outer Rim because there is a huge convention going on and they just walked into the bar and I think some of them have already visited a bar somewhere else. So I don't think we're going to be lucky there. So we do have a specific menu over here at the Outer Rim, so we'll see if they'll be willing to make us a custom drink. Well, I have a question for you. I found a menu from the original Monorail Club Bar from 1975. And I have a list of drinks, and I want to see if anybody would be willing to try to make it based off the descriptions I have from these lists. Any one of the drinks. Okay. So we did find a bartender over here at Outer Rim that was willing to try making this for us, and he's going to try to make the Monorail Yellow. So we didn't have all the exact ingredients, so instead this is like a pina colada mix instead of the coconut milk. And let's try it.
She only drinks pina coladas anymore. It's really, that's why she had to get that.
Ooh.
Exactly.
That's pretty good. It definitely has a pina colada vibe to it, a little more on the juicier side, but I don't know, this might sneak up and bite me on the butt later. Our bartender, Andrew, did say that he was only able to make this drink because we actually had a list kind of detailing what was supposed to go into it. A version of Monorail Yellow was sold at the Top of the World Lounge above Bay Lake Tower. However, it is no longer available because of the menu change of the Villains lair and the re-theme that happened in 2022. Okay, Mom just tried it. And what did you just say, Mom?
It tastes like alcohol from the 80s. It's so strong. And I have never been a big alcohol person, and now that I'm old, it makes my tummy hurt.
Oh no, Mom. So instead she's having
Watermelon lemonade's great.
the watermelon lemonade is what she's having instead. I'm gonna have a sip of that as a palate cleanser. That's really good. But that's what we ended up getting over at Davy Crockett's Tavern when we were trying some of the burgers over there. It's really good.
Okay, they said that Galliano, I was talking to people next to us. He said that's in a Harvey Wallbanger, and the bartender said there's a lot of things in the old menu they don't carry anymore. They don't have Galliano on property. They don't have grape juice. Who had grape juice in a bar lately?
I mean, that's true. That's very 70s.
And they said Galliano is very expensive also.
I mean, it probably wasn't back then. Those drinks were originally $2.50.
I did ask if he'd honor the price, and he said,
No, not at all. We've mixed it up a little more, and even Mom likes it right now. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Not bad at all. It's actually quite refreshing for what it is, too. I feel like this has a nice balance of it's not overly sweet sometimes like a pina colada is. This actually has a little more of the savoriness of like the other juices that are inside of this, so it actually is very balanced. I really like this. Okay, I'm not going to be able to finish this, but this was really good. Well, that about wraps up our adventure, and I think it was very, very successful that we ended up finding a Monorail Yellow inspired drink, and our bartender, Andrew, was fantastic. He was able to help us out because of how impressive our list was in the menu is the reason why he said that he was able to figure out what was supposed to go in that drink and only had to make very, very minor modifications to it to be able to get to the closest that it probably would have been back in the day. Till next time, night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight.